Jess and I still talk about this. We were at a house show at one point. I was at 93, 94, and Men on a Mission were wrestling. And there was a guy behind us that like said to his kid, "That's 2 tons of shit right there." to Mabel and Mo.
It was
so funny.
It was
that's 2 tons of shit right there.
I don't know. I think it was a tag match or a singles match. He was taking on Bam Bam, and they did a double clothesline spot. And Bam Bam's a heavy guy too, not as big as Mabel, but he was heavy. And they did a double clothesline spot. And then like once they double clothesline and of 2 huge guys doing the double clothesline, the crowd will get quiet for a second. And right on cue, this guy's like, "Son, that's 2 tons of shit in the ring right there." Like it was just perfect. It was just fucking perfect. And everyone in our area, we belly laughed. We were just belly laughing for a while. Like
that's lovely.
So good.
So funny.
It gets so. What's up, guys? It's our wrestling podcast coming back at you with another episode. This is Dave Vicious, along with Just the Total Package and Craig the British Bulldog, bringing you our perspective on the world of professional wrestling. No inside sources, no ties to the industry, just stories from the diehards, sharing opinions with you. Today's topic, WWF in 1995. For audio fans, give us a listen on Apple, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And for video, check us out on YouTube at Our Wrestling Channel, and look to your left for several other video and audio options. And if you wouldn't mind, could you please give us a follow on Instagram at O.W.P 2019? Oh, we had so much fun with WCW. Now it's time for the shit show.
That's moving back, right?
It was bad. See you next week.
It was bad.
I mean, WCW was bad. We decided on the episode to talk more about the production stuff that they were doing behind the scenes and what it would eventually lead to, because obviously their boom period was kind of coming early in '96 with the NWO. So, this was not. I don't even any shoot interviews, Bruce Pritchard podcast, nothing like that. I don't recall anything positive going on in the back of WWE except for like we don't know what the fuck's happening like in this stage in 1995 in WWF. It was I remember as a fan, I can honestly say if there was no WCW in 1995, I might have stopped watching wrestling altogether.
Wow,
that's how bad it was, and we weren't East Coast or anything, so we didn't get ECW. I stumbled across ECW on my massive satellite dish, but that was just by chance. And I never got majorly into ECW until later, until like 98, 99. That's when I got into ECW a little bit more. But
that's incredibly interesting. Wow.
In 95, I would not have found ECW, and I would not have been interested enough to let that keep me watch wrestling. There's a lot of people today that say I would have stopped watching wrestling during this time if it had not been for ECW. But I took solace in WCW at this point. So even though they both were kind of equally as blah, like at least I could flip. At least there was different things I could watch.
And WCW was at least a fresher product for you in your mind because you weren't watching it all the time. So at least you had new stuff to kind of try to delve into and attach to. That's interesting.
And that also speaks to my point all the time is that it's super healthy to have 2 big promotions, because if the talent can't go back and forth, you're just going to stop watching wrestling, which is what happened after he bought WCW. And in 2010, there was like a fraction of the audience watching wrestling because Vince was the only promotion in town, and TNA never got big enough to really do anything. So
TNA was hard to find too, by the way. Just to give the fans an
and they
idea
weren't WWE wasn't the global juggernaut that they are now, or even they were. I don't think they were public at this point. So they just had, the money for a roster. They had 4 guys, and this year was the year they really just tried to force all these new people that none of it worked at all. Trying to deal with the Clique, who altogether were all kind of unified, and then you had Diesel as a champion, which. You just kept going with that fucking experiment, and as you'll read on, it was he didn't have the bankroll to really do anything. Poor Vince. It was just it wasn't working.
I know. I was just thinking in my head. I'm like, poor Vince, my ass. Like he was pillaging. He was buying everybody out in the 80s from territories.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. We feel sorry for him.
Kicking the doors down and destroying the territory foundation, which is why multiple wrestling fans were able to stay engaged, because if you didn't like what was going on. You could do this region, and states that were close to each other and cities could get each other's local television too, so you could watch Mid-South or anything like that. When Vince just went and just pillaged the town.
Junkyard Dog, Harley Race, Piper,
exactly.
like every single big star from
Junkyard Dog. Yeah.
Early on, he bought Stampede Wrestling from Stu. So it's just he took everybody from there.
That takes Bret Hart and those guys. Yeah.
Doing that.
I mean, I just kept thinking about like you close your eyes and 3 years earlier was 92 and that Rumble and the talent they had and holy shit. And then fast forward a little bit and it is Bush League. The entire year,
and even then, it's never gotten to the point of that anymore. That was the worst point of WWF, WWE. Even if you talk about 2010, when it comes to the quality of the product, they still had so many deals of television and cable and everything else that it never got as dire as it did at that point. I think we can all agree on that. Even though 2010 and 2015 was a real shit show. Right.
Yeah. If I don't know how much LT made for that Mania, but if your biggest chance is throwing $100,000 at that guy or LT, and it was fine, but
LT,
I bet he made a lot more than that. To be honest with you.
And we all love Bam Bam, but I mean, he was just Bam Bam, and I don't mean that to be a dick. Bam Bam was always a mid carder. So like he
was never pushed to those levels. He was never given that.
Yeah, and he handled it well. To Craig's point, I know we'll get to it. I think at some point in the notes, but like he was not like a top caliber performer that had kind of been on top for the promotion before, where Vince could be like, let's put this guy there or whatever. It just wasn't that.
And he didn't get along with the clique. So whatever push was going to come out of Mania and him doing that for LT and being that star, like he didn't survive much after that. They ruined a lot of shit. Yeah.
They did ruin a lot of shit. Like they did.
It's hilarious. The year 95 was a crucial and transformative period in the battle between World Wrestling Federation and World Championship Wrestling. Although it was still early in the Monday Night Wars, the groundwork for the fierce rivalry was clearly laid out during this year. We're going to talk about Diesel, this WWF champion. This was November of 94 to November of 95. I think it was just short of a year for this one. Diesel, also known as Kevin Nash, just saw him on Threads today, bringing out the guns again, saying he's doing well. Good for him. He was pushed as the top babyface champion, defeating Bob Backlund in 8 seconds in late 94 at a house show, as we were just talking about, which apparently they had no plans for, but they had the real shitty fireworks to put behind him after he won. So go back and look at that on YouTube. You guys will laugh your ass off. It's weird.
Hitman Bret Hart temporarily out of action. Big Daddy Cool, the ranked #1 contender. The bell rings and Diesel, the 7-foot monster, seizes the opportunity. What a boot to the midsection. And then from there, Bob Backlund, jackknife to the canvas. Diesel, the cover. And in a record-setting 8 seconds, Diesel becomes the new World Wrestling Federation champion. The celebration was on as Big Daddy Cool became the leader of the new World Wrestling Federation generation.
I never understood that. Like, I know that's still technically not 95. It's not the house show because it was at Madison Square Garden. So it's not that bother. I mean, it does bother me. That's a house show. I'll take that back. But like, I want to say Survivor Series was not on Thanksgiving. It was the day before Thanksgiving at that time, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember in 94, I think, because it was Thanksgiving night, and then it went the night before Thanksgiving for a long time, and then it finally went to that weekend. So I think 94 was the day before Thanksgiving, because we all watched it at my house. Craig, you came back from college. I picked up Derek. Like, I remember us watching it. So Monday Night Raw is not that far off. So I think he beat Backlund on a Saturday or a Sunday at MSG. They couldn't wait till Raw. They couldn't do the title change on Raw. Like, I don't know why. Raw, they needed that momentum with Raw. And I don't know why he insisted on doing stuff like this during this time. It was, Bruce Pritchard always said it was to get more people to come to the house shows because obviously that was their bread and butter. Vince was a traveling circus company. So all the syndicated television and even Raw to a certain extent was like an infomercial to get you to go out to your local arena when they would come there and buy it. That's where he was. So I understand that business model, but that business model was getting antiquated here in 95. And so instead of like playing the house shows, he should have just done everything on fucking pay-per-view or television. I don't understand why not.
And by the way, Craig, I mean, to bring in here, if internet was as more apt as it is today, this could have worked because the house show would have leaked out like crazy, and it would have been huge news everywhere, and then Raw would have been boosted to see what Diesel was going to say on Raw as the new champion. No, but
I don't know what the plan was, but Backlund beating Hart at that Survivor Series, they probably knew they were going to give it to Diesel. I imagine, right?
I think so. I think so.
But it's such a to Jess's point, just such a strange way to.
It started off 95 off weird for me as a fan. Like even though it was the end of 94 when
Vince loved MSG. He was his bellwether for every single crowd and what he was going to do.
Maybe a little too nostalgic.
Didn't make sense to do it.
Yeah, and the reign was not well received. He had weak challengers like Sid, Mabel, Tatanka, bland promos, lackluster crowd reactions. I would like to see the promo that you all envision. Give us the visual, Craig, of Diesel in a promo. You don't have to even say anything.
I don't care.
You do it.
I'm going to go out there and hit you like a Mack. He was just so bad as he is.
Well, and they started, Diesel's big complaint was like, I'm Diesel, I'm this ass kicker or whatever, and then you put the belt on me, so I got to turn babyface, and everyone's generic template for the babyface was, they did a sit-down interview with him, which Bruce Pritchard hated. And it was like, your real name is Kevin Nash, and you used to play basketball. And he's like, yeah. So they tried to like humanize him right away. And I get why Vince, like, listen, it's easy to look back now. Vince was just trying to go like, Vince was defiant. Vince was like, my formula is not bad.
It works.
I just have to find the next Hogan. And it's a big giant I need to find. And I have one. So let's just do that. But I don't ever remember like them sitting with Hogan going, hello, Terry. Hello, Vince. It's 1994. It is 1994, Terry. Like, no, they never did that. Like, you slammed Andre, Terry. You did. I did, brother. I did. Like,
not even that. It's dude. He's not Hogan. Like, and let's even back it up. They never even gave him the bill that Hogan would need to get. Yeah. He didn't beat a super hated transitional champion. Backlund was not really hated. He was kind of meh. Like nobody cared that.
Yeah, and Diesel wasn't really likable. He was just like nothing took seriously. Everything was like a wink, like see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It was all just kind of about him. Like
to your point, Jess, he literally was doing the Hulk Hogan playbook, but one, he rushed it and he didn't use the right guy.
Well, I don't even know about him rushing it to Vince's defense, because Hulk was taken right from AWA, and Vince is like, come on, I'll put my title on you next month. That's literally what they did. The difference was, and this is what I've always struggled to get across to people that want to go back and analyze Hulk and kind of shit on him. I'm like, he was lightning in a bottle, and I don't think you understand what that means. That means it doesn't just walk like and knock on your door every week or every day or whatever. Like, Hulk Hogan was lightning in a bottle, and he had charisma that nobody else had, and it wasn't anything that Hulk learned. He just had it. And then when he was able to unlock it in the AWA, Vince saw it and said, also loved you in the Rocky movie. Get the fuck over here. Yeah. Like, that's really all it was. Yeah. It wasn't.
Which, by the way,
I'm not shitting on your point, Dave, but
Vince, no, you're not. Vince's dad fired Hogan for that movie, too, for doing that.
It didn't matter what heels you threw at Hogan. Like, the Kamalas and the Bundys, they were all kind of believable when Hogan was in peril. So it's like you always just kind of believed it with Diesel wrestling these same guys. Didn't really have the talent to carry these guys as a babyface and get like his butt kicked for this long. His work rate wasn't very good and never really was. So it's like, I mean, if you're just trying to be Hogan and throw these big guys at him, like it just, I mean, how many good matches in 95 did Diesel really have?
Nobody sold
maybe a Hart one at the end of the year. Like,
nobody sold a back rake better than Hogan, Greg, right? I mean,
you believed Hogan, like you believed the peril, like you could let Kamala splash him, and you're still like, oh, I mean,
Bob, I'm a genetic wonder, and I'm much more articulate than you. I don't have to go to a dictionary to pick my words. As a matter of fact, Bob, actions speak louder than words. And I took something from you more precious than life, and I took it in a matter of seconds. And I can do it any time I wish. Bob Backlund, say hello to your World Wrestling Federation champion for as long as I want to be. Bob, you want it? Come get it. I'm a real easy man to find.
Yeah, no, it's okay. And he lost the title to Bret Hart in Survivor Series that following year. So almost a year apart. Yeah, and then we got Shawn Michaels' ascension. He entered the Royal Rumble in 1995 at number 1, and he actually won the Royal Rumble. He was the first one to win at number 1. He did turn babyface. Go ahead. Sorry.
Did that still? I wonder if that still holds up as the shortest Rumble ever, because that's when they switched 90 seconds to 60 seconds, and it showed how thin the roster was with like Aldo Montoya and Mantar.
It was,
and
yeah,
so they sped through. It was 38 minutes, like from bell to bell.
Yeah, because Davey Boy and Shawn started it out as 1 and 2, and then they were the last two in the ring. So Vince was trying to make a point. If we're gonna make it shorter, let's have like a history making moment where 1 and 2 are in there in the end, like, and that they determine. So like it was, it's a really weird, to your point, Craig. It really is a weird Rumble, and it's shitty because, like you said, just all these Mantar and like all these people were in it, and we're like, this isn't the Royal Rumble. Like, this is not like, it just didn't feel like WWF.
It's a struggle. It's a struggle bus for sure. Shawn turned babyface after Mania. He feuded with Sid, who was his former bodyguard. That's 2 bodyguards now, right? Because Diesel was his bodyguard before that. He had match of the night performances regularly, including Jeff Jarrett as an opponent, Razor Ramon, which was a SummerSlam ladder match that a lot of people feel is a top 10 match in a lot of people's minds. They'll put it up there, maybe even top 5. Put it on their Rushmore, if you will. It changed matches forever, especially in the realm of ladder matches and what you could do. So, and he was teased as the future face of WWF, and rightfully so in the moment. I mean, I don't know how to say this. We say some really tough things about Shawn over the years, and I know he's kind of redeemed himself, all those great things. He was tough to work with, man, but he was the best. He was the best in that moment. He was, he's rivaling Bret Hart, and they had a feud for real. I mean, it wasn't even, I can't even explain it. The stuff in the front and the back was the stuff that was getting you to come back and watch later on. Shawn was the best emotional worker, if that makes any sense, in this time period. Nobody sold better. Nobody performed better. Bret is right there with him, but I would argue that Bret wanted to be that giant that wasn't a giant sometimes and not take the bumps the way Shawn would. Shawn was a bump machine, dude, and he got tougher and tougher to work with. I'm not trying to defend him. I'd argue the stress gets on you when you're trying to carry the company, but he was it, man. He was it. I mean, there was nobody better at the moment. So,
and now a bit of a reverse. Hey, wait a minute. What? Oh my goodness! 1, 2, yes! 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 What did the Roadie do? What did he do, McMahon? Triple J, Jarrett! Told the Roadie to hook the ankle. However, when it was reversed, the Roadie hooked Double J's ankle. What poetic justice here! Live in your house.
This was good
Shawn,
stuff.
and this was the problem for Vince because again, Hogan was everything. He was the guy that was most deserving at the time as far as the crowd was concerned. He was naturally charismatic. He was lightning in a bottle. He was Vince's main event. Then Vince gets to Diesel, and he's like, but he's a big guy like Hogan, but he doesn't have the charisma. Okay, I got a Shawn Michaels. For the first time ever, I felt, yes, during Hogan's era, you had Andre, Bundy, Orndorff, Rowdy Piper, Randy Savage, Jake Roberts. I mean, I'm just rattling off all of goddamn famers. Like, but at the same time, like, Hulk was the man. And that's the thing, is that's what Vince didn't realize or just couldn't recapture. Maybe he did realize it. And then he gets to this point and he has Diesel, he has Shawn Michaels, he has Bret Hart and The Undertaker. And he's like, why the fuck can't I make a difference in 95? It had to have been frustrating for him because the audience, the wrestling crowd was changing.
And they had to do all these little things separately. Like, it's like Bret, you gave him kind of Lawler and you gave him Backlund and you gave him, who else in 95? They're like,
Who are you talking about? You talking about Diesel?
I'm talking about like Bret. Like all the big stars kind of had their own little separate programs that none of them were happy with.
They were trying to put young people over, like Hakushi. Bret was with Hakushi, with Pierre, the fucking pirate that stole his jacket. Isaac Yankem.
Isaac Yankem, yes. I mean, it was just
this is what we're talking about. Like, Bret Hart gets his mid-year exile in return, and he wins the title again. but he was underused for most of 95. To your Craig point, he was feuding with Bob Backlund again. Like, why? And that was, what are we doing? There was a WrestleMania 11 I Quit match with Roddy Piper as the guest referee.
It's so bad.
That was awful.
Even Brett says this is his absolutely worst pay-per-view or television match ever. Was Bob Backlund in WrestleMania 11, and it was bad.
Yeah.
It was truly terrible.
I can't even imagine working Bob at that point. I mean, he felt like he really did have a screw loose. I couldn't really confirm it, but I felt like that guy was really like it wasn't an act, if that makes sense. Dude was wild.
But you also had Roddy, who like I mean, he didn't really know. He was just screaming at him to say like, "What do you say? What do you say? What do you say?" To the point where he ruined it. So you need a decent ref to actually get that through it, and he was just.
That's the shittiest part about I Quit matches, Craig, when they have the microphone the whole time and they're just
no.
Oh.
Yeah. I imagine, but I just imagine like you were like Roddy Piper because he doesn't know how to tone it down. So like I imagine him just doing like promos and stand-ups going, "Oh, you're trapped like OJ Simpson in the like he's just trying to like, hear that. Just and they're like, and Vince is in the headset going, "No, shut the fuck up, you're just the referee." And he's like, "All right, man.
Let him breathe. Yeah. Let him breathe. Yeah.
You look like a little girl riding a tricycle. Do you give up?" Like he's just trying to like get his little Roddy Piper jabs
like
in there.
You got kids, man. Give it up, man. Go for the kids.
I think there's not. I don't use the word hate much, but I think there's two things I really hate in wrestling. And I Quit matches. One, anything on a pole is got to be 1A.
Yeah.
Anything on a pole. Like,
anything on a pole. I don't share the same hatred as you as I Quit matches, but I get it. Like especially like when you're hearing somebody else eat. What I don't know what those are called. Like when somebody is doing something that's
ASMR.
Yeah. Or no. Like because in the negative way, like where people are just fucking. I can't fucking stand hearing that person chew. Dave has that same thing with the microphone going like like when they're just in a hold and they're like not giving up. And Dave's all fuck. Like it's just
Yeah, back to Brett. We had a short and excellent feud with Hakushi. We talked about him briefly. And then there was a weird Isaac yanked him DDS feud. That's Kane's early gimmick. Just weird stuff. But he did reemerge as a top star at Survivor Series that year, and he won the belt from Diesel, as we talked about in the beginning.
Wrestle. I don't know that's a wise decision. Whoa! Wait a minute! I can't believe it! He did it! He did it! He did it! Oh my gosh! Hey, wait a minute! Oh, wait a minute here! Come on! Oh, good gosh!
Let's get this turd roller coaster rolling with King of the Ring 1995. King Mabel, also known as Nelson Frazier. He won the tournament. Fans loved it, right?
And also they were in Philadelphia, which ECW was starting to get a niche crowd here in Philadelphia.
Oh, so man, that's the worst time.
There were several ECW chants in the yard. And wasn't there ECW people in the crowd? I could be wrong.
I'm sure.
I want to say there was. I could be totally wrong, but there were multiple ECW chants that were audible during the pay-per-view, which was like, oh my, like
I wonder if they can that out on YouTube TV. You have to go back and take.
I don't at this point probably not. To be
they
fair,
probably don't care.
Yeah, at this point they're like, we won.
Mabel main evented SummerSlam versus Diesel in a terrible match.
You know what an ECW crowd wants though when they're in Philly is to see Savio Vega wrestle 4 times in one night. That's really kind of
and then
what
to
you
see
want.
King Mabel win the ultimate, the overall king. When Undertaker and Shawn Michaels were also in said tournament.
He beat out of Bob Witt to get in here. Mabel with a splash. Good night, King Mabel. King Mabel. All I can say is it was a gallant effort, ladies and gentlemen. On the part of Savio Vega. Alone coming in to help out. Savio Vega, who was just crushed.
Yeah. Moving on to SummerSlam, though, that was considered one of the worst pay-per-views in company history. Mabel's push was quickly scaled back due to fan backlash and injury to Diesel. So there you go.
And Undertaker, he broke Undertaker's orbital socket. He almost paralyzed Diesel.
Right.
In the same year, he fucked both of them up. He fucked Diesel's lower back up, and he leg dropped Undertaker. And
that's got to be the stuff that Vince just kept him up at night. That's why Vince worked out at 3 a.m. because he just wakes up
Vince is like I need to push big guys. I can't not push Mabel, but they're like,
and both of his big guys that were halfway decent got hurt.
He's murdering your top stars. He's like, that's no.
He's hurting all of us. Every one of us.
Can we be terribly honest though? Like Mabel was not a worker at all. Like he could not work. I mean, I don't know.
No, he's a big guy. No, like he was defiant. Like the whole. He'll be my champion.
Jess and I still talk about this. We were at a house show at one point. I was at 93, 94, and Men on a Mission were wrestling, and there was a guy behind us that like said to his kid, "That's 2 tons of shit right there." to Mabel and Mo.
It was
so funny.
It was
that's 2 tons of shit right there.
I don't know. I think it was a tag match or a singles match. He was taking on Bam Bam, and they did a double clothesline spot. And Bam Bam's a heavy guy too, not as big as Mabel, but he was heavy. And they did a double clothesline spot. And then like once they double clothesline and of 2 huge guys doing the double clothesline, the crowd will get quiet for a second. And right on cue, this guy's like, "Son, that's 2 tons of shit in the ring right there." Like it was just perfect. It was just fucking perfect. And everyone in our area, we belly laughed. We were just belly laughing for a while. Like
that's lovely.
So good.
So funny.
It gets so bad that Alundra Blaze decides to turn sides and throw her WWF Women's title into the trash. This was in December. Alundra Blaze was the current WWF Women's Champion, but Vince didn't give a shit, and he released her due to that division being shut down. But guess what? He never got that title back.
Get out, bitch!
And guess who decided to take her on? Eric Bischoff said, "Come on over," and she just mentioned, "Hey, I have the women's title with me." He's like, "You have it?" She's like, "Yeah." Should I give it back to him? He's like, "No, bring it over. We're gonna do something with that." And she signed with WCW.
Fuck you, Vince. Fuck Vince.
What?
Because they complained about it. And then I'm like, you don't remember Ric Flair? When you signed Ric Flair in 91 and Flair's like, I still have the belt because I refused to give it back.
I still had the 10 pounds of gold, baby.
And then Vince is like, bring it on TV. What are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Like, it's so
What's
fucking ridiculous.
What's the problem?
No, I don't feel sorry for that motherfucker at all. At all.
No. So she signed with WCW.
We had the respect to pixelate it. So that was just that. No one knew what it was.
Jack Tunney ruled that we could not show it because of it. It was a dick.
Jack Tunney. Everybody knew what it was. She signed with WCW.
Jack Tunney unequivocally, this is a dick move on Vince McMahon's part. So we must pixelate the the big gold belt. Like that's an official.
Right.
Vince is
so she appeared live on
December
18th episode of Nitro. And she literally took a trash can, like a baby bathroom trash can, and threw the women's title. This is what I think of the WCW or WWF Women's Championship.
Yeah, for what people don't remember is she shit in it first and then threw the belt in.
And then threw it in there.
It was live TV. It was live TV.
It wasn't like Eric did anything with Alundra after that anyway. I mean, there were some good matches with Bull Nakano, but I don't even think there was a title. There wasn't even
he did not.
A women's division.
He didn't have a plan either. Bischoff's like, just come on over here.
Right. Just come on over and throw it in the can, and we'll air it forever.
Yeah, because Bischoff's going, I just want to know that I'm stealing people from Vince. That's all he wanted. Like, he would bring people over to WCW.
That was the key.
We took them for Vince. Fuck you, Vince.
And it was, you talked about it was a massive embarrassment for Vince in the WWE. It was very symbolic. If you ever watch the Monday Night Wars, you will see that snip of her throwing the belt in the trash can every single time. So
yeah.
It's forever a core memory.
However, it shouldn't be understated because the deflection of Luger in this, which I don't think you have in the notes, Dave, of Luger like telling Vince or like his contract coming up. Like, so Vince tries to pretend on documentaries and people that are closest to him, his biggest fucking ass kissers, like, will be like, it's all about a handshake. It's all about integrity to Vince. I'm like, fuck you. Like, Vince would shit on them the second he got the chance to shit on them. Oh, you want months off, Ricky, because your fucking kid was born? Fuck you. I'm going to job you out when you come back. I'm going to I don't care. Like, fuck Vince. Like, fuck him. I mean, we needed him. I'm so glad he did what he did because we still watch wrestling now. But so it's a double-edged sword. But at the same time, fuck Vince. Like, Vince. I was those dirty tricks. Fuck you. Like, you deserved every bit of what you got. You did the same thing to everybody else. I don't feel bad for it. Fuck him.
Oh, yeah. WCW, NWA couldn't run in any good arenas because of the WWE's contract. It's like whatever arena they run.
He only created Survivor Series to cockblock Crockett with Starrcade.
Yes.
That's the only reason why Survivor Series is even a thing. He wouldn't have even fucking invented it if he's like, oh, fuck, let me, the cable company's like, you don't even have a November pay-per-view. He's like, I do so. And they're like, what is it? He's like, oh, fuck. Patterson, fuck. And he's like, Survivor Series, Vince, I don't know. Good God. Like, he's like, Survivor Series, it's something about it's tag team. I don't know. Like, and that's why he created Survivor Series was to fuck Crockett. So Crockett couldn't run fucking Starrcade.
So, okay, I don't know if we're going to get into stuff that's better than that, but let's talk about The Undertaker versus the $1 Million Corporation. Taker feuded with Ted DiBiase's faction, including Kama, who melted Taker's urn into a necklace. I don't remember that.
I didn't hate Kama, but...
Yeah, Kama was fine. And King Kong Bundy and Mabel, once again, this is where you're talking about. He injured Taker's face. He fractured and almost collapsed his orbital socket, leading to a mask. Taker's feuds felt repetitive, but he remained popular. And then we had some emerging stars. We have some people, we've talked about this person who was ahead of their time for years. Goldust debuted in late 95, introduced as a provocative, controversial character. He's androgynous, pal. That's what we always heard. He would gain momentum in 1996.
So there was flashes of brilliance like in 95. Like I can't shit on everything. We had the rematch of the Diesel and Shawn ladder match in 95.
That was good.
Brett's matches with Hakushi cannot be understated. Like those were really, really good. Brett beating Diesel, that was an excellent match. Arguably, besides a match with Shawn, like
thanks, Brett.
Diesel's top two matches were Shawn and Brett. Like I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, so there were like glimmers, just not enough of them.
You almost didn't want to put Brett and Shawn together in a match so they can at least get two good matches.
But everybody else below what Vince was doing, because like we talked about earlier, they spread out the key four: Taker, Brett, Shawn, Diesel, and they tried to make Mabel for Diesel. Mabel didn't work. They tried to make Kama for Undertaker. Didn't work. They tried to make Isaac Yankem and Pierre and Hakushi for Brett. Didn't work. They tried to make, I think Shawn faced like Dean Douglas and Jeff Jarrett, and Jeff Jarrett was an excellent match, but Jeff Jarrett leaves the company, so it's like that momentum was halted. So there really wasn't like nothing was working. Vince's formula of trying to create stars for the first time had just halted, and then he didn't know what to do with Luger. He turned Bulldog heel. He loses Luger in an embarrassing scenario. And the tide finally turned the other way, right? From 1991, it was probably haunting WCW about what Vince was able to do to them. And then in 95, Bischoff gets that last laugh. And then the Medusa cherry on the sundae at the end of the year. Like, there's just which goes back to my point is why we were a little nicer with WCW in that episode, is because there was a method to Bischoff's madness. He was trying controversy. He was trying to do it. Vince was just reacting here, which was not like him. Which wasn't like him.
I mean, Ahmed Johnson was another powerful, explosive character.
Oh my fucking God, Ahmed Johnson.
He got hurt later on too. We lost him. He almost died.
He was trash anyway. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, comparing Ahmed to the Undertaker is not. I'm sorry, not the Undertaker. To the Ultimate Warrior is not that far out of reach. Just powerful, explosive, but couldn't do anything outside of 5 minutes. I mean.
Yeah, he got over. Like the crowd loved him when he started, and then it was just like
he was a phenom, bro.
We didn't bring
and
up
I think he was difficult too.
Yeah, we didn't bring up a really fucking not healthy Yokozuna was still kind of around in 95. He teamed with Owen. He was tag champs with Owen for a bit there.
Yokozuna and Mabel. Fun. When was that? Jesus.
Yeah, Yokozuna and Mabel pay-per-view, and it takes on Raw. Like, but Yokozuna was so unhealthy.
You have 1, 2, 3 Kid turning heel on slowly on Razor, and actually, when did he beat Razor in that flu for? Was that 94?
93.
93 was that long ago?
Yeah.
So you got 1, 2, 3 Kid who was kind of on that fun run with them, but he turns heel, and he also becomes part of that clique later. It's
a fast count on a 1, 2, 3 Kid. Do you know what, Big Man? Monsoon was right. I can't believe this. The 1, 2, 3 Kid pulling Sid off the Razor's back. And then from there, that fast count. Something's up here. I can't believe it. Monsoon was right. Look what the Kid did. Look at him. And Ted DiBiase stuffing money down the throat of... Is that a $5 bill? Canadian $5 bill. The 1, 2, 3 Kid, I think, has shown his true colors.
It's funny that you mentioned 93 because I feel like Vince was always struggling to figure out what WWF was from 93 all the way through 97 until it finally clicked with Austin and himself. And they just, and then, you had the Nation, you had The Rock, you had DX and everything after that. So for that, from like 93 to like 97, he had no clue. Like he was just trying to figure out, what do you guys fucking like? I've never done anything wrong. I'm a good man. Like, and you're like,
I create superstars.
Yeah, he just didn't. He really didn't know what to do.
And by the way, it definitely doesn't work with somebody who's not Hogan that couldn't sell that way. Diesel was never able to sell that way, and I don't think that's his fault. He's 7 feet tall. He shouldn't sell for anybody. By the way,
if the creator or the driver of the bus or whatever doesn't know what direction they're going in, it doesn't matter who's on the bus or who's on the trip.
Yeah.
If you don't know where you're going, if you don't know the destination, it's never going to mesh. And that's what 95 was for WWF. Like it was just
he thought he knew where he was going, and it was definitely the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So, and he had to I think he got to that point, Jess, we talked about where he's like, I don't know, do whatever. He was actually like, especially with Brett and Sean and H later, like, I don't know, figure it out. Go do something different. Go figure out something else. Like, and you see Sean dancing around with a cucumber in his underwear or whatever he did. Like, it's just weird shit. And that culminated to the Attitude Era later, and where Stone Cold was able to grab hold of things and really make something real. But 95, man, it's just, you had Brett, Sean, and Taker. That's what you had. And that's not enough. It's not enough to make things.
And no undercard.
Have a goal. Yeah. No undercard whatsoever. And by the way, when Stone Cold was at his top, I would argue you look at the stuff underneath for years even before it was tough, but you had Stone Cold and you had Rock later on. You started to get more, to your point, Jess, started to get more big players in the game that understood the dynamic of fans at this time, where The Rock could be a good guy and still say, stick it up your candy ass. They were understanding the dynamic of what was changing. But 95, nobody knew what to do, So
the worst year.
And they shut down shortly after.
For fans.
It was a good.
Yeah,
time for them.
WWF closed down, sadly, in 96.
Yeah, they filed bankruptcy. We never heard from them again. Yeah, 100%. For audio fans, give us a listen on Apple, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, or watch videos on YouTube at our wrestling channel. And you can look to your left for several other video options. And please give us a follow on Instagram at O.W.P 2019. For Jess, Craig, and myself, this is the O.W.P signing off. Have a good one.
And Vince would sadly pass away in 1997.